Perfect. 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 Get everybody all situated here. Excellent. You guys are looking good. All right, let's get into this painting, you guys. We're going to do a sort of a Halloween-themed painting. I already have one ready to swap out, so let's get our acrylic white gesso, a little bit of black gesso, our paper towels, and let's just start going crazy, man. Get all this stuff everywhere, let it work out and get darker and darker as we go. Right. Each little spot, just kind of dabbing it and working it away. So it's darker that way. Darker and darker. Darker towards the edge. The edges. So you guys gotta let me know where you're watching from. What's your favorite sandwich? Back into our white gesso. Back into the center bit, and then we can start extending it. That way it's not super white. So where are you guys watching from? No, let's change up the question today. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Halloween is coming. I hope you guys are ready. Just about there, right? We're on an 18 by 24 inch canvas. We're just doing the top half. Now let's switch to an little old fan brush like this. Just an old little guy that you're about ready to throw away anyway. And let's say maybe let's put a platform for our little house right there. Just a little line to start from. Now what we're gonna do is make small little lines indicating our little stairs are coming down. Maybe this guy gets a little flatter, right? Extending it out a little bit more, however you like it. Now let's drop down, start working the other way. Okay. Little line, little line, little line. You guys decide when you want it to stop, where you want it to be. You can add little bits just by pulling down with no paint on the brush. You don't want to have any amount on the brush in here, because if it's too bright, it's going to be way too bright. And it's going to stand out too much, right? Now, all these little stairs, we're going to go and roll foggy bits over them. But if you wanted to, you could have little spaces, and you could fill in little areas. All up to you guys, what you want to do. Right? Maybe let's go one more over here. One more little spot of a stair, right? Again, just with no paint on the brush. You can see how hard we're having to work just to get it to drop off. Now, when we go add new paint, we just want to add a very little amount. Let's say we work back this way. Now remember, you can go to PaintWithJosh.com and grab this painting before anybody else can get it. You can have it. Very light pressure, because I don't know how much paint is on the brush right here. Right? Brighten up that little line in between. All of a sudden, we got our stairs working down. Let's go a little bit further, a little bit bigger. Each time they come at us, get a little bit lower, they get a little bit longer, right? And then we can decide how you want to have it. You can always go back and cover over areas that you don't want to have. Little spaces, just filling it in a little bit. Boom, 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 till you get down to wherever you want to be. Say you want your last stair to come over this way, or that way, or whatever. You guys get to choose. Literally up to you. And then we're going to have some fogginess roll over. Maybe I'll turn our stairs, go back the other way. And roll over our stairs and fall down, so you don't really have to focus on what they look like. Just going to have all this stuff rolling off of it anyway. A little bit of our base layer down here, just the front step. Just like that. Got a very cool little scene. Now let's go back to our paper towels. Now that we know where our area is going to be, dab into our paper towels. Start coming off the edge, very light, right? We don't know what it's going to be like, so don't go crazy. Dabbing in a couple little things over there. Maybe we get a little bit brighter. See how the paper towel is sort of picking it up in different areas and depositing them differently? That way it's not just one solid thing, right? Get it all over those paper towels. So there's bits all over. And that way with just 3, 4, 5, 6 little touches, you've covered a whole area, and you don't have to do too much, right? Again, say you didn't like your stairs over that far, guess what? Cover them. You get to decide where everything gets to live out here, right? All up to us. Our paper towel's kind of falling apart. They will get saturated, right? Don't get me wrong. It will get saturated with too much paint. Oh, there's that big old bush right there, right? You get to decide what you want your little stairs to look like, how far your little stuff gets to come down. Now let's switch back and let's go. Let's do our house first. Let's get another small little fan brush, just with a little bit of our black gesso on it. And let's come up here. This area should mostly be dry by now, because we've worked in all these things. We've taken a little bit of time. So there's some areas where it's still kind of wet. But most of it should be sort of dry. We're going to take our brush and let's make like a little, just like a little thing like that. And we'll come down this way. It's like a little saggy little pyramid. Same thing off the back. Same thing off the back. These guys will line up as our little house roof. And fill it in, just like that. Right, now go back, get a little bit more paint. Come down here, we know our front wall and our side walls are going to be right there, right? So all of a sudden we can fill it in again, knowing where our house is going to be. If you can leave a small little space of light in between the two bits of pure black, that will kind of help, but you don't have to have it, right? Come back in here, and let's come off our guy. We know we're going to want to have our window, so let's block out a little window area that we can try to keep nice and bright. And we'll come in here and fill in the rest. Now we're going to want to do the same thing with our door. Try to leave a light little area right underneath, in between your roof and your thing, just to have that little bit of difference for our own eyeballs. We're going to go back and fill it in later, so don't worry. A little bit more, let's decide where we want our door to be. So we know our window is going to be there. Maybe we'll have our door right here. Right? And then what I'm going to try to do is just leave a little bit of gap around the top and the sides. And if you go and fill it in, it's okay. It's all right, we can go back and do it with our white, but the more that you leave uncovered, so you can see the outline of the door in there, you can see our window, any little gaps and cracks that we have that are showing that light, it's going to look like something's exploding from the inside. It's going to look really cool. We'll get back in here into our white gesso. Right, come back and kind of tap over our window, so it's going to be very bright. See instantly how bright it is. And drag out a bit of light in all directions, just very lightly. Instantly it looks like it's just erupting with light. A little bit onto our sides of our doors and the top as well. So again, if you did cover it up too much, it's okay. Drag a little bit of that stuff outward. Bang, just like that. Looks like it's there's so much brightness happening inside that it is causing the light to come from every crack and crevice. Let's come down right underneath our roof again. Right, just that little bit of light, and again, like it's just so bright in there. The light is coming from everywhere, you guys. It's crazy. Pop a little bit into your roof, too. Why not? Some people's got little cracks in their roof. This witch isn't out there paying attention to her old roof. Pop in another little window onto the side if you want it as well. All of a sudden, you got a very cool little bit of a house. It's got a little hole in the roof where that light's coming through. Very neat. And then you get to decide what you want to do. Now, let's go into our black gesso on our foam brush. That old foam brush. And start just dropping down little things just real quick, like who cares what they look like off in the distance. Don't focus on them too much because we're not going to. We're not going to see a lot of them. All right, come back in here, a little bit more onto our foam brush, and now we got to make our big tree. All right, let's see our big branch comes in like that and just smash right down here next to all these little guys, covering up all of our background pieces, right? Because we're never going to see everything. Big old tree branch, maybe he's got a little friend that lives in here, just with our black gesso, running it through, being kind of jiggly and wavy, because we don't all need them to be exactly all the same. No straight branches out there. You can even come in with little smaller little branches, connect them to your bigger little guys, all up to however you guys want to do it. Right? Come off of here and attach himself to them. All up to us, remember. This is a very far away little thing. When it comes time to doing our tree, you're not going to really see that guy too much, okay? Now, let's do one little bit of a pumpkin. I'm going to show you how to do a pumpkin real quick, okay? So we're going to come in here and grab a little, very small amount of our liquid white gesso, our white gesso, and let's pick an area, maybe right down here in the front. I'm just going to make a very soft-handed little circle right here. You can almost see through it. Right? That's how I want it to be. I don't want to be able to see so bright white everything. Bang, right there. Right? You can almost see through the little guy, but he's not so bright. You can see a little bit of darkness, little places in there. Now what I'm going to do is get a little bit extra white. We're going to come in just on the corner. I'm going to tap in a little eyeball, right? Get a little bit more of our extra white, just so it stays so bright. Okay? So when this guy looks lit up, we'll give this guy a little smiley face. Boom, 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 boom. You can make him look however you want to look. But when he gets lit up, ooh, you know what? Let's give him a little bit of like a Jack Skellington. Yes, perfect, right on the edge, gorgeous. When we color over it with our white, and let's give him one little bit of a stem coming off his little head. Fabulous. When we cover over that with our colors, it's going to make him look like he's literally lit up, and it's going to be fantastic, okay? Now, any little place where you want to add your little bits, boom, 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 and just in 11 minutes, guys, literally 11 minutes, did the whole thing from start to finish, right? Now let's swap over to our dry one, because you want to make sure that literally everything is dry. You know what else we did on this guy that we didn't do over here? take a little bit of our liquid white. Let's say we pop in just like just an eye or two into this old tree and maybe an old mouth. Just with brightness, right? So whatever happens, that tree's gonna light up in the brightness of our sky. It's gonna be amazing. Whatever color you choose is what it's gonna be, right? Now we'll swap this guy out. We'll bring our new guy up here, and very much the same, except this guy's got a little bit of a wiggly little jack-o'-lantern mouth. But beyond that, got our cottage, our little guys. I added a couple little white bits of trees and added some more little foliage to this guy that we didn't do in our other one, but you can make yours look however you want. Take all the time in the world doing it, right? Now, we have to wet wash our canvas. We need a wet surface in order to paint with our oils. Otherwise, our oil is going to cover up all this stuff, right? So let's get in here. We're going to dip into our liquid clear just a little bit. Don't need to have too much. And if you do, we're going to show you how to wipe it off and take it out, right? Just like that, across the center, over here. Maybe one down. Maybe we might need to go back and get some more, but you're going to instantly see how all the black gets much darker and all the white gets much brighter. And a lot of people like it, just like this. All right, I've had people message me and say, hey, can I buy one just black and white? Because I'm into black and white, and I like that look, and you just make it look so neat. But yeah, you can absolutely do it in just black and white. Call it done, right? But when we start throwing the colors on there, guys, it really starts looking cool. So, even if you're a black and white fan, just stick with me just for the next 47 minutes, right? It's all we're really gonna take to do this whole thing. I do all my shows in an hour or less. Right? That way we all stay entertained, show you every single step. You guys can literally do it too. Now all we're doing is taking this clear paint, putting it all over our canvas, making sure it's in every single pore, making a lot of noise, making our arms hurt, right? Lots of stuff. Have you ever put clear on a canvas? You will know what a workout it is. Why Josh is so buff, but just in the one arm. I don't have any muscles anywhere else. It's fine. It's totally fine. So tell me where you're watching from, guys. What's your favorite Halloween candy? I don't know, mine changes all the time, so I couldn't even give you mine. Couldn't even give it to you. Now, let's get the oil supplies out. Wiggle over here. And let's start throwing together. I see some beautiful colors. Let's go pinkish, purplish, yellowish. Love that scene. All right. So we're gonna need some of our dioxazine purple. No big deal. Everybody's got that color. You can go find it at Michael's and Hobby Lobby and all that stuff. Man, that's looking pretty good, you guys. Looking pretty good. So, what's your favorite Halloween candy? Let's get out here into our Indian yellow and just watch. You just watch. Watch as we go over our little pumpkin guy. Instantly, bang! Looks like he's lit, right? Especially, spread some of that color out and then we'll hit it. Oh, it's just awesome. Back in here, we want all that light emitting from our little house. So we're gonna start it out as a yellow area and one more little yellow area maybe up here in our sky. All right, now we'll go into a different color. Look at how easily that color spreads across the canvas, by the way. And we're using our transparent colors, right? If we put this yellow, cadmium yellow up there, it would try to cover over all of our black, which is not what we wanna do. The transparent colors are the colors that can go on their color, right, over white, and when they go over the black, they disappear, right? We can't see it over the black. We can still see all that black through there. That's what a transparent color is, and they're gorgeous, right? You can have it very vibrantly orange where we put it on, or if we spread it out, it'll get a little bit lighter, and you can kind of adjust and play with your colors as much as you want. I just like having a little bit of yellow out there. Now, let's go into our crimson from the Meaden set. And if you don't have the crimson, which is barely coming off, let's go into the madder carmine then. How about, no, actually, this is the permanent red. Permanent red. There's so many colors out there now. Permanent red from Meaden, one of my favorite colors. Check this out. Oof. Right? The more you stick it on there, the more gorgeous it is. Ooh, maybe we give them some red eyes. Right? We get to decide. The more we rock through, the more color you dump on there, the more it mixes with our orange and stuff, and we get all these beautiful little hues out in the day and the night, right? Just fabulous. Let's throw some back in here too. Just instantly like that, right? You get your pink, orange, a little bit darker, and your bright yellow, all within a couple inches. It's amazing. We don't want to do it across everywhere. We don't want everything to just turn pink, right? Look at the difference in the stairs. 4 different colors in there. So cool. And it does it all on its own. Do we have to do anything? No. Look at this tree. And then we're going to have purple up here. So it'll be purple, red, and then yellow all in that one tree bark. Guys, so neat the things you can do. Maybe you want to get in there, mush on a little bit more red color. Maybe some of our crimson will want to come out and play. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's there now. We broke the skin on it. Oh, guys. Right? Just fantabulous. I know I want to miss my little pumpkin guy and leave him yellow, so we're going to stick some red around him. That way he'll stand out. He's looking like, look at that. Little instantly lit little yellow guy. Now, into our dioxazine purple, guys. Oh, look at that color change right there. See that? The purple is a semi-transparent color. So if you put on too much, it's going to want to cover over. Get some purple up into there too. Just mix it up, right? These are all undercolors, guys. No one cares what this color looks like right now. This isn't our finished painting, right? I hope you don't think this is. I hope you're not like, oh man, well, that's wild. I guess I'll just dip out. No. These are our undercolors, which means the more that we brighten them up, the more you're going to see them. Right? Drop some of that purple down in here, around our backside. The purple gives it such a cool, shadowy look down in the forest, man. Remember, we're going to have some light shining down, so let's leave a bright area. And I do just instantly love the purple. As soon as we start putting it on there and mixing it in, I just love it. I mean, good. How can you not? How can you just not like that, guys? We'll touch from the edge, around and over here. And I think now we've got every single part of our painting has been covered with some form of color, right? Now all we're going to have to do is as we lighten up all these colors with our white and spread it all out, oh, it's just going to be fantastic. You guys ready to see something cool? Are you ready to see something cool? Let's take our 1-inch brush. Let's come over here and grab up some of our titanium white. You can see instantly how hard that pile of paint is, right? It's not overly dry. That's just how it is normally as it comes out of the tube. Now, we don't want to put too much on there, right? But we need to have enough to brighten up our sky. So, you guys, tell me where you're watching from. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Let me know. Oh, you think it's cool now? Check this out. All right, we're going to come in with the white. Let's pick a spot. Just instantly brighten up this whole area. And we're going to get wider and wider and wider as it goes out, right? You could do all the cool little swoopsies and little shwippy poos and all the stuff that you want to do in your little sky. You could have it circle out and get wider like a little tunnel. Ooh, man, I mean, I'm close, but not today, guys. A little bit extra white, right? Start to brighten it up. Extending that brightness out, covering over some of our trees, right? Instantly sort of brightening that whole area, making it look so bright that you can't even see, right? And what happens if some of that light maybe shot through the tree branches, right? We drag it out down underneath. You get to choose where it's coming out of. Maybe it's coming down here. Maybe it's going over the house. Maybe it's going out the back. Maybe it's going up this way, right? All up to us, guys. We get to pick where it's coming from, how bright it is, and all the stuffs. You want to cover over your face? You want to have it be hard to see? Because that's what I like doing. Covering over some things enough to where when people look at it, they're like, oh, did you notice there was a face in the tree this whole time? I didn't even know that, right? Come back up here with a little bit more brightness. Brightening it out. You don't need to have all those dark colors out there. Oh, like that, right? Oh, man, that's a gorgeous one, you guys. Look at those beams of light just coming through the forest. Woo, I like it. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. Now, the white also semi-transparent color. That means that if you put on too much, you're going to cover over all your stuff. So, don't put on too much, right? You'll cover over all those little things. Oh, man, that's awesome. That is awesome. Everything is awesome. All right, now, let's get over here with one of our little fan brushes. I have a little fan brush. We're going to come into our white. And first things first, we need to brighten up what's happening inside of our place, right? the more white that we touch onto that yellow, so how instantly bright it gets, we can start dragging some of it out in different ways just by come off the brush like that. It's literally so bright. Whatever's happening, the spells that are being cast in there are so bright that it's literally, right, we're just taking it and flicking it a little bit. Flick, flick, flick. Little things. Bang. Right, we gotta get something to come out of the top too. Just zing, a little bit of brightness. Some light coming out of there. It's shooting out from the top, right? You never know until you try it. I've never tried that before, until right now, right? In front of thousands of people, we're trying it. That's what Josh likes to do. I try stuff. So you guys don't have to. You already know it works, right? Look at that. Just like instantly, all this brightness trying to come out of every little crack and crevice of this little house back there. So cool, guys. Now, we're gonna come in with that same little brush. And before we do anything else, I need to flow down, right? We need to flow some fogginess down here. Remember, you can go to PaintWithJosh.com and grab this painting. It's available. It's the very first thing you're gonna see over there. Unless it's already gone. Anybody? No? Yes? Still there? Mods? Asking? Man, that pumpkin looks lit up already. I love him. I love him. Oh, that's cool. That is cool, you guys. Sometimes I get lost just sitting back here staring at it, right? Let's make these guys a little bit softer back here. Just by very lightly going over our area, right? We're not trying to make the paint grow. Just want it to soften up so you can't really see any strokes or any little details or any stuff like that. Right? We'll come out here into our titanium white. You don't need too much because this paint is very thick. It'll go a long way is what I mean. Right? It goes a long way. Thanks, Tyler. All right, so we're gonna come out here. Let's start maybe a little bit of that misty fog starts rolling down our steps, just across the top of the steps, right? Because we're gonna come back in with our brush. We're gonna start to mix it into a little cloud. You guys know how to do little Paint with Josh clouds out there. Now, all of your stair details, the majority of them, 90% of them, are going to go away. Maybe this guy droops down over here, right? Just popping on a little bit of fog. And we had a whole nother little section. Rolling down the stairs, however you want yours to look. And each time you do it, it's gonna look a little different. Push a little harder on that guy. Mix it. Oh man, isn't that just so cool? Look at that mist. Right? You can still see some of your stair details, so it's not just a waterfall of fogginess. You still see some of our stairs, maybe. Pick it up in here, a little bit more brightness onto our brush. Falls down by our pumpkin, starts rolling down this side, pushing more onto the canvas, so there's more brightness. And maybe it doesn't all reach the bottom. Who knows, right? Come in here and mix this guy up a little bit lighter because we don't want it to disappear. So a little bit softer on our mixing. Maybe he doesn't even get all the way down the steps, but whatever is happening back inside this little guy is mysterious. You can go back in, brighten up little areas, right? So you want to catch a little bit more light. You want to catch more light on the way up here, a little bit more brightness to your fog. You can do whatever, right? You go back in and mix it down. Little bits, little bits, little bits. Man, just like that, guys. Look at our little pumpkin man. You can even take a bit of your bright white and brighten up just the eyes and the mouth section. Right, just to have that little glow in there. See that? Very cool. Oh, baby's neat. Right, it's not the focal point of the painting, but it's a cool little detail out there. Now let's start throwing in some far off stuff, you guys. Just in 25 minutes, look what we've done. Does anybody check the clock? 25 minutes, 24 actually. 24 minutes, we've done this entire thing you could call a finished painting, right? We do need more black on our palette though. What are we doing, Josh? We gotta have paint on the palette if we're gonna paint. How are we gonna teach a painting show with no paint? Is that possible? All right, so you guys let me know, I can't get the lid on now. Let me know what you're, oh my God. Where you're watching, are you serious? Where you're watching from, what's your favorite sandwich? Let me know, and I gotta get some of my crimson and black and blue paint out so we can make our favorite color known to mankind. Does anybody know what our favorite color is? Or what we like to call it? We're gonna need some of our crown as well. So, we've got the Paint with Josh crown as one of our colors, and we have the Paint with Josh Plaque, which is the other. Let's mix up a bit of both, right? So in order to mix up Paint with Josh Plaque, we need equal parts of 3 colors. Now, you have to tell me the 3 colors, just so I know you're paying attention. Class. Sometimes I gotta be a teacher, okay? Most of the times we're cool, we're pals, we're hanging out. Sometimes I gotta be a teacher. So you tell me, just so I know you're paying attention, what these 3 colors are that we mix up in order to make like a really deep, dark mixture that we call Paint with Josh Plaque. And then on the opposite side, what are the 3 colors that we mix up to make Paint with Josh Crown, right? A mixture of 3 colors that is not as dark as our Paint with Josh Plaque, obviously, right? But it is a dark, sort of an undercolor mix of 3 of our faves. Boom. Does anybody have an answer for me, class? Anybody over on YouTube? Let's see. Everybody over there on YouTube, you better start to at least give me a thumbs up. Come on, hit that thumbs up button one time. Thank you, Max Squatch. Max Squatch, he's very technical and serious. He's very serious. Remember, guys, if you go to paintwithjosh.com, this is the very first thing you're going to see. So get over there, nab it up, and grab it while you can before someone else does. I'm telling you, it happens more often than not. Let's get down here. We're going to want to cover up an area, right? We leave an area sort of in between our 2 back distance points back there, right? We'll come into our Paint with Josh Plaque, right into our very first tree. Down on the one side, down on the other side, wiggling it, flipping it over, making sure it's nice and sharp, right? Nice and full of paint. And let's say we'll just pick a spot and just go shapoopy. Ooh, he's got a little curve to it. I like him, right? Come back in, load it up again. So just going down on both sides so it's nice and sharp. And use just the corner of the brush. We're going to tap in, right? One little touch. The more we go down, the more little taps. And the more pressure that we're pushing in. Meaning that we're hitting the brush and then mushing it just like that. We're not even touching the whole brush to the canvas, right? We're going to flip it over. We'll start again with our little taps. And the more that we get down, the more you eventually have to start pushing on the full brush against the canvas, right? And then we start bouncing back and forth. Very small little movements, right? Small little corrections. Have you ever been driving a car? You don't want to make giant corrections when you're driving a car, right? Because you can overcorrect. Same thing with our little trees and stuff. Little tiny little things, right? You can have them pop out, be weird. They don't all have to be just the most gorgeousest of things. They don't all have to be symmetrical. It's a little tree. Instantly pushes this giant tree back because he's brighter. We can see him a little bit better. Pushes our house back in the distance by a little bit because our branches are coming in front of it. And now we can pop in just a little touch of a bush right down around the bottom. The bottom of the thing. Let's take the Paint with Josh bushy brush. Now remember, every time you get this brush from the manufacturer, it's going to be very small. You're going to want to mess it up just like this. Literally make it as big as possible, okay? Flatten it out. Let's come and grab a little touch of our Paint with Josh Crown mix, which is crimson and the 2 brown colors. Doesn't matter what colors you're using. Burnt sienna, burnt sienna and burnt umber or raw sienna, whatever. Who knows how to cook umber? Let's get that Paint with Josh Crown color and start popping it in down here. Right? Sometimes you can get these little danglers to hang over the edge, maybe into your little misty area, right? Now, in order to highlight these little buggers, we have to take this thicker paint and get it to become a much more watery consistency. That would be thinning it down, right? So let's say we go into our green, right over here, which got a little skin on it. There we go. Into our green color, and we're gonna need some more yellow ochre, because that's my favorite new mixture, is the sap green and the yellow ochre for these kind of autumn colored trees. It's a really nice mix. Now, it's all done by the eye as well, right? We're not measuring anything. We're not scooping. Like, it's like there's no way to do it except by your eyeballs. Go back, give a little of that liquid white. The green into the yellow ochre color. Right? We'll make like this brownish, greenish color, which to me indicates fall. And we want it to be much more wet in its consistency than its original pile. That way, when we touch it up here, it will instantly pop off of our brush and start attaching itself to that plaque mix, right? As we go down, it will get darker. You want to know why? Because we're dropping off the green and picking up the plaque. So if you want it to be brighter, you go to the other side of your brush, popping in some little extra pieces, just back and forth, same thing we were doing, except we're holding it like a chopstick, right? Popping on the back side, over here, bang. Not trying to fill in every piece all exactly the same. It's not all the same amount of brightness. We have our deep dark spaces, we have some darker green, we have some lighter yellowish greens, all in there, all from it depositing off of the brush, okay? Now, let's go back in, just because I want to see one more little spot back in there. Again, they don't have to be perfect, and you can sit here for hours and play with these little guys. You don't want everything to be so dark or so bright, right? Little bits, just like that. Fabulous. Gotta have those bits of dark in there. And then just cross your eyes and look at it. Just be like, yeah, no, it looks fine. It's fine, right? That's all I ever do. Take a step back, cross your eyes, go, yeah, that looks like a tree. It's perfect. Amazing, because you don't want to focus too much on it. You don't want to spend too much time down there, right? Now let's get a little bit of our liquid white. Let's go into that kind of yellow ochre color with the liquid white, dabbing into it like this. Little touch of our pure, like that cad yellow. It's super bright. Come off of this guy onto his left side. Not trying to cover up all of that dark color back in there. Just a couple little things, right? We get to choose what it looks like. Guys, every time we do it, we can choose. We don't have to cover all of our little plants that we did in acrylic either. Right, let's go back into that Paint with Josh crown color. Drop down a whole nother little bush. Bang, up into my little misty areas. We're trapping that mist in and forcing it to go around our bushes, right? Dropping down, a little bit of texture on there, a little bit of darker color, not trying to cover up everything. Now let's go back in, grab a little touch of that green. I love this green. A little bit of our greenery. A little bit of that yellow ochre color. Same sort of like yellowish, greenish color that we had coming off of this guy. We'll come down off the backside. Right? Just off his backside, dropping down little bits. Little guys. Right? Maybe over the tip top of that guy, you could put a different color. Or if you wanted to, continue to fill it with that greenery. Just don't overfill, right? If you overfill it, then all of a sudden we've lost those dark spaces and you can't reach in and grab anything. You don't have any depth, right? Very cool. Now, we know we want to have one big tree over here. So we're going to put my big tree on this side. That way we can crisscross some branches out into our guy. So let's put a few more trees over here. We'll go into that Paint with Josh plaque mix, right? We just make this stuff up as we go along, you guys. It's serious. Bang, right down into here, right? The darkness of the plaque will help our tree stand out and be in front of everything else. Trying to keep my big old hand out of the way while we go down on this tree, right? Over here, start popping it in. Yeah, that sounded bad. Popping it over there, pushing it down, filling in little spaces, getting a little wider and a little wider. Doesn't all have to be perfect, right? We're gonna come back over it. All we need is a little dark space in there. Just a little space. Right? I gotta cut in front of you guys just so I can see. I wanna paint a painting that will sell. I gotta be able to see, right? Just like that. Fabulous. Got my little trunk down in here. While we have this green, right, why don't we grab a little 1-inch brush? We grab the Paint with Josh 1-inch brush. Grab the Paint with Josh 1-inch brush. Go into our green. Have that little yellow color as well, right? Over into here. Let's say at the base of our little guy, right, we start catching just a little touch of our greenery back in there. It's feeding it up, covering over our kind of flowery bits. Leading down to our little pumpkin space. We get to do whatever we want to do. Let's add a little bit more of our yellow ochre to the same color. Feed it down. Right? Over here, over there. You can turn it. We can put a big bush in front of it. We can do whatever we want to it, guys. It's our painting. We get to do what we want to do. That's the best part, right? That whole thing living back in there very lightly with our grass. We're not trying to fill in every single piece. Right? Gorgeous. Nothing has to be perfect. Take our little trunk back in there. Thank you very much. Now, let's go back with that same greenish color. Maybe a little bit more of our yellow ochre this time than anything else. Come off of this guy. Over here, over there. A little touch of our kind of dying tree color. There we go, that bottom color. We're coming off all of our bright side over here this time because we're imagining our sun is sort of behind our tree. Tap along its bright side first, and then we work our way up the back side with the darker side of the brush. Just like that. Working its way up, leaving that darkness, so you're getting your light coming in. Bang, it's hitting these two guys differently, right? You have to show that. You can't just hope that everyone sees or just believes that, oh, the light's there. Right, you gotta show it. You have to show it happening. Now, what if we got a whole other little bit of a bush down there? I'm gonna load my PaintWithJosh brush, the bush brush, just like this. I'm gonna push up, right? It's a round brush, but I'm gonna try to make it a little flat. It's like that. What if we did it like that on both sides? Boom, boom, right? Keep it nice and flat. Here we go. We basically turned it into the oval brush. Come down here and start popping in little darker bits. Maybe I want a whole other bush right here. Right? I get to decide. Nobody else gets to come in and tell me what my painting's supposed to look like. Right? We're gonna drop a whole other little guy right in here too. We just want to have these little differences is all. If you have the differences, you can come back, a little bit more depth to our grass now because we added that bit of dark and then our bit of light over the top. Right? Doesn't all just have to be the same green even, or the same yellow, or the same whatever. It's up to us. We get to choose, guys. Nobody else. Drop down these little bits. Hanging over the side, hanging over the side. Oh, isn't that so cool? Just, I don't have to tell you guys. I don't gotta tell you it's cool, man. Let's get over here. Let's go back up into this area and just put a little bit of that grassiness down. Just with the same kind of oval brush, right? Tapping in little areas. You don't have to have it be crazy. It would be a little bit brighter up there because it's next to all that light happening. And then we're gonna work in some of our darker tree bits and stuff as we go down in here. So, a little bit more green onto our brush. We'll change the color of it. It gets darker and darker as it gets away from that light. Gorgeous. Exactly what I want to have right there. Fabulous. Okay. Now, we've got a little bit of plaque in here, you guys, and we got to make two things happen, okay? We're going to put a gravestone or two right here, and we've got to put a massive tree, and we've got to probably throw a gravestone in right back there, too. 3 gravestones and 1 big tree. Do you think we've got enough PaintWithJosh plaque in this pile plus what's on this brush in order to create the most amazing paintings you've ever seen? I love you guys, by the way. I'm so glad to be back. I was out of town for a while. A couple days, I was at a wedding for my sister. It was awesome. She's awesome. Everyone's awesome. Her husband's awesome. It's so weird to call him her husband now. They've been dating for a long time. But it just feels so great to be back, you guys. Yeah, let's get to 100,000 likes, Elena. I dig it. Rita, what's happening? Alec, James, Peggy, Layla, Aaron, and Almo watching over there on Facebook, you guys. You get to decide. Remember, if you're watching over on YouTube, just click the thumbs up button just once. That's all you gotta do. Click it once. Go away. Even if you leave, you'll still have liked the video, and that is fine. Okay, let's see. Do you guys think we have enough paint in this pile and on the brush? We got a lot of yeses. We got a lot of no's. Never not enough. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. This is coming out really cool. Really cool. Debating whether or not to put a little baby friend of a tree next to him right here, or whether I like that we can go and walk around it. You don't always have to finish your paintings to the side. Now, let's get in here. Let's do our little guys first. You know what? Let's come over here like this. Over to the side, down, over the side, down. See how we started above the pumpkin, went well below the pumpkin? He's not even above it, Josh. There we go. That's above the pumpkin. Just like that. Make a little rainbow bridge. Fill it in. Start higher on the one side, lower on this side. That way it'll look like it's at an angle versus being very flat. It'll look like it's tilting away from us. Okay, now let's go back over here. Let's drop in one more little booger. Maybe right back up here. She keeps her victims close. There. Boom, 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 boom. Just a little old gravestone in the night. Right? In the night. Take a little bit of our grassy area and kind of fill up around his base. You can do the same over here, but we're going to add some stuff to him. Okay, that guy, he's a little further in the distance. I mean, he could get a little bit of highlight. We could get a little bit of our white. Come over like this, just over and down, just like we did it with our thing. And fill in the center. Not too much white, because we don't want him to be too bright. Right? We want him to look further away. Over on this guy, we can load up on our brush a little bit more with our white. Right? A little bit more of this guy and have it interact a little more. See, we went over the edge, down. Right, same thing over here, over the edge and down. Let's turn our brush over. Look how instantly dark it got. Fill in the rest. The more that you mix it, the darker it will get. Okay, so you got to decide What does your cement color look like? Now, once you have that guy, let's take our smallest little liner brush you can find, and in my instance, it's the PaintWithJosh liner brush. It's amazing. We're going to dip it into our odorless mineral spirits. We're going to go into our plaque mix like that. And then that's going to thin it down very watery-like. We're going to pick right on the corner, okay? So you guys might want to cross it, and then we need to choose. See, I've gotten further away from its edge right here. Let's load up on our brush again, make sure it's nice and wet. You choose how thick you want it to be on the edge, and then go down, just like that. All we're doing, adding a little piece. Now, if your edge is not crisp, then you got to go around your edge. Bring that guy down. Bang. All of a sudden, you've got this block of stone that's twisted at this slight angle, right? Very easy to do, guys. I try to show you the easiest things. Literally, anybody can do these. You can sign your name on that thing. You can write the dates of somebody maybe who passed away who's close to you, or the initials of someone who's close to you, right? All up to you guys. We might well put one more right here. Yes, I can feel it. It'd be like a gate of stuff we'd have to walk through. Okay, so we've got our 2 gravestones, like I said, right? Let's chuck in our big old monster tree. Now, you guys said we were gonna have enough. I'm not sure. We got to go from the top all the way down. This guy is going to live right down in here. What did we not worry about? Our silly old little shack in the back. And why is that? Because we want it to be pushed away. If we tried to miss it and showed every piece of the house, it may look too close, right? You got to push it off in the distance. Let's fill in this little tree. You get a little thicker on the side. Shoo, guys. Let me know if you're liking this one so far, right? Now, we still have to go back and add our branches. So did we have enough? That's yet to be seen. Stay tuned for the answer in less than 2 minutes. If you answered, do we have enough paint in this pile, yes or no, you will receive your answer in under 2 minutes. Hang with us, right? Come back over here, start to drop off and deposit little bits, little branches that just extend out into this light. Oh, that's what we put all this light out here for. So you can get all this craziness and this gorgeous little theme. All these little details and stuff. They all come from your guys' brains, right? I never like to make my branches so straight. So add a little wiggle to them. You get the question all the time. Like, oh, I wish I could paint, but I can't make a straight line. You don't need to make a straight line to paint with Josh, that's for sure. We don't do straight lines over here, right? We like wiggly branches and scraggly stuff and all sorts of craziness that a straight line just can't provide us, right? So drop down, boom, right over here, over there. You know what, we should have put our, dang it. We're gonna leave it now, but we should have put our final little gravestone right in there, right there first. Did this to it and then went across it with a branch. That's what we should have done. Did Josh do that? No. Watch, I'm gonna show you right here. Come across it, boom, instantly pushes that gravestone back behind our little branches, right? It would have just added one more little bit of that, but it's all right. Not every painting is gonna be exactly the same old Joshy pants, so don't worry, my friend. Oh, thank you, Josh. I won't worry. You're just so wise, so wise. All right, now we got to throw about 1 million little jaggedy little things off of here. But in order to answer your question, those who said that we did have enough paint in the pile, you guys were correct. So the yes answers won in this case, guys. Remember, go up in some spaces too. Don't just go side or straight out, go up. It shows the branch going off the other side of the tree. It's cool. Listen to your boy, I'm telling you. Who gets more excited about painting than old Paint with Josh? You can't tell me, madam. Because it's nobody, that's the answer. Nobody is more exciting, nobody's more fun to watch than your old pal Joshy. Oh, I like that branch, just reaching out. Ooh, Berber. Goodness, I like this one, guys. Okay, let's get in here. Because we have all of our plaque, right? We did our crown, a little bit of our crown color over here. We need to have that plaque color, and we don't have enough. You guys, but we need that in order to make our final bush at the base of this tree be the very closest possible thing towards us, right? If everything else is a lighter color in the distance, and then we finally go full black right at the very end, it will, you guys couldn't see that, hang on, bringing everything closer to us. What a mess. What a mess this guy is. So, you guys let me know where you're watching from. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you give me a thumbs up if you're over there on YouTube. Just one thumbs up is all we need. I'm going to mix up a little bit of our Paint with Josh plaque color. Now, what is Paint with Josh plaque, you might ask yourself, or be asking yourself, or may have once possibly asked yourself, or another one's self, madam. But it's a mixture of black, crimson, and blue. And when we throw those three colors together, doesn't matter if it's phthalo blue or Prussian blue or, I mean, it does matter if it's like cyan blue versus ultramarine, right? You want the darkest blues you can get in order to make Paint with Josh plaque. You don't want to make it with a light color blue. So, we've got our plaque mix down here. Let's get our Paint with Josh bushy brush again. Load that sucker. Very flat-like on either side, right? Flattening it down, just like the Paint with Josh 1-inch or the whatever. Pop it down here. Make sure we go into our mist, blocking things out. We start coming down, right? So we went out to the side. Now we're going to start coming down, straight down, over here, over there, and around the edge, right? Making it look more 3D because we went out in different ways. Karate chop the canvas. Hi-ya! Get out of here. Boom! You guys. Have we not sold this one yet? Man, I thought this one would have gone like instantly, but that's okay. That is all right, guys. Let's get in here. What I want to do first is highlight our bushy thing first, so that when we come down with all of our tree highlights, it's really going to stand out as looking neat. And if we're not going to do anything over here, let's finish in just these little guys, just little taps. Filling in, changing our little angles, right? Leaving our little spaces. Oh, it's fabulous. I love it. I love this one. Let's put the green over here for our little side piece. Hello, you guys. Now, let's get crazy. Let's go into some like, oh shoot, I don't know. Perhaps, I mean, we haven't done much on our purpley guys, but if we're going to go purple, we might do, well, let's do pink. So, let's go with our permanent red into our liquid white. Onto our little bush over here. Let's hold it vertically too. Kind of rotate it outwards, right? So it was like that, and I was turning it as we were going. And that way you get a cool little different thing growing in different ways, right? Not everything all has to be the same. Now let's go back into our liquid white again. Over here into our dioxazine purple, one of my absolutely favorite colors, all from doing that class at Tanish's place. All right, come off the back side, down, again, rotating the brush. So it was sort of vertical, and then we're rotating it as we go. Tap, rotate, tap, rotate, tap, rotate, tap, right? Not just the same way all the time. Don't try to cover in all the spaces. Just like that, you got a really cool bush down at the bottom of your little tree. Now we need to make up a lot of our brown mix, guys. We got 5 minutes left. And London's gonna show up, and then we're all gonna go over to the Glitterwick show and do that deal, right? So let's grab up a little bit of our brown colors, both the browns, just mix them into a deep dark color. Over here, you can have that crimson-y crown color too. Whoops, there we go. Big old pile of brown. Now we're gonna grab some of our yellow ochre and that brown, about a half and half mix, and that will bring our brown color much lighter, right? So we've got our darker brown, and we've got our lighter brown. Now we're gonna go about, I would say like 90-10. 90-10 yellow ochre to brown, right? So it's very yellowish, ochreish. Slight little touch of that tan color, right? So those 3 different colors. Now let's come across, let's go to our backside first. Scoop up a whole big bunch and just touch it and tap it. Like we're just smacking that right over here like this against the tree. Just a good old whack against it, and then you pull away, and that creates our barky, textury feel. Right? Each time you do it, you create this giant ridge, and that ridge will dry and feel like bark by the time you get done. It's so cool, guys. Now, once you finish half of your tree in your dark brown, let's go to the mid-range brown, that mid color. come in right against another guy. Right? That way it won't be such a transition for our heads and our eyes. It will be a bright into a dark versus bright dark. You know what I mean? Kind of a little gradient feel. That lighter color, again, just straight down the center of the tree. Boom, 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 boom. Whatever you want it to look like, right? Now we come into the brightest of the brights. You only need a very small amount of this guy because we really only want him to be on the very outside edge, right? The brightest color, our light's coming in, it's hitting that spot of our tree right there and making it just so bright compared to everything else. Now you can leave little ridges inside where they're just straight up plaque colored. It leaves it very deep and makes it look very cool. Or you can fill it in as much as you want, right? Doesn't matter to me. I've done it so many times in so many different ways, right? That it honestly, you could literally do it however you wanted to and it would still look fantastic. Bang, bang, bang. Look at that, right? What a cool little tree. Such a neat little thing. Just instantly makes it so 3D and depth-filled, right? Just amazing. Guys, I like it. I like that. Let's get in here. You know what I want to see? Maybe just around the base, little bits of like lavendery flowers around the base of our little guy. For whatever reason. Just a couple little lavender spots in there. A little bit of purple. Dig it. Dig it, 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 dig it. Okay, now, let's come off of our branches. We've got a few minutes left, so we're going to come in here with our darker color and just try to get it to attach on to our biggest guys, right? You don't have to go on for all of your little small guys. Little things, little bits we're touching and then pulling away. So again, you get that ridge, that little thing where you push the paints together and when you pull them away, they want to get that little point, right? That little ridge at the end. That's exactly what we're looking for to make our branches nice and 3D looking. Now, we're not trying to cover over the entire bit of our plaque paint, right? We don't want it to completely be gone and just disappeared from history. We want it to be under there. Because if it's not under there, we're not going to have any depth, right? If you just have this straight brown color with no plaque underneath, you're not gonna like it, I'm telling you. Little pieces, not every branch has to be perfect. Maybe we get some of that supreme brightness just on the edge of some of them. Again, not every guy or every branch is gonna have the same amount of color or catch the same amount of light. We got a little guy over here, over there, over here, over there, right? Wherever we want it to be. Maybe we had one little guy who just so happened to come out like this, straight out in front. And a little touch of darkness underneath. All of a sudden looking like it's coming right out at us. And then we come up here, we drop in a few little really dark colored eyeballs. And we're gonna start looking like a little Pinocchio of a tree, right? You don't want it to be perfectly circular either. A little bit of our darkness in for the mouth. Giant open mouth at the bottom of this little guy. Take one little touch of our light color just to brighten up along the edges. One bit on the top, and all of a sudden you got a little screaming tree. It's going, oh, out in there into this long Pinocchio nose. I dig him. I dig him, you guys. Very, very cool. So, you guys head over to PaintWithJosh.com. I can't wait to see all of your versions of this painting. Right? I would love it if you would send them in to me over on Facebook. We're at official Paint with Josh on Facebook, right? So, if you're on Facebook, send me in your versions of this painting. They all turned out stunningly amazing. I dig it. I always love when you guys send in your stuff too. I can't wait to see them. Honestly. Seriously, man. So, you guys have been amazing, right? Remember to send in your photos to facebook.com/official PaintWithJosh, right? And as always, until I see you guys again on the next one, take care. Have the rest of a good day and bow, paboosh. It's over. Boom, boom. Man, this one came out good, guys. Oh, I dig it. I dig it. Let's see. All right, let's get a quick name for this guy. And then London's going to pop in here. And then we're all going to go over there and watch that one. There's something spooky in that forest, you guys. Hey now, I know. It's crazy. I got to flip you guys around. We got to come over here. Get into where we can actually see the colors. Oh, isn't that fabulous? Isn't that, Josh? Fabulous, you guys. I like it. I don't know about you guys. I love those colors, though. Those colors came out something fierce. I like it. I don't know about you guys. I love those colors, though. Those colors came out something fierce. I like it. I don't know about you guys. I love those colors, though. Those colors came out something fierce. You guys already know. I gotta take these things down real quick, otherwise I trip and fall and all these tripods go everywhere. That would just be the death of me. I don't know that I could handle it after that. Alright, so remember, if you guys want to grab this paint, that's what I do for a living. You can go over to PaintWithJosh.com and grab it up. Nab it up, grab it up. I got so many brushes I have for living. You can go over to PaintWithJosh.com and grab it up. Nab it up, grab it up. I got so many brushes I have to clean, guys. It's not even funny. Literally not even funny. So, come up with a name for this painting while I clean off these brushes real quick, and then within 4 minutes, we'll get you over to the glitter show. Right. Guys, what do you want a title? Remember, if you purchase it, you get to choose the title forever. Forever. If not, I might just send it to my mom. My mom might want it. I showed her the version, the other orangey version. She was like, oh my God, I need that. Like, I need a piece of that right now. I need it. So what would you guys name this? What a glorious morning. Very cool. Let's see. This, that, over here. I might call it, if you were gonna ask me, like, Autumn Enchantment, because something's happening back in there. She's doing a spell, right? She's creating a spell. Somebody's gonna get it. Yeah. So that would be my thought if you were gonna ask me. But remember, if you grab it, you get to name it. And we're running out of time, so you gotta do it quick. Shaky poo. Boom. Alright. So guys, what would you call this one? Let me know in the comments. And get it going on the back for you. 2 more little brushies to clean up, and then we gotta sign it. Of course we gotta sign it. Living on the edge, taking it this close to London show, guys. Normally, like to be nice and finished and done and ready for her when she is ready to go. Today we're running a little behind. Okay, this guy, that guy. Let's go. Love those little guys so much. That, this, over here. There she blows, guys. Always a cool place to sign it. I always like signing it in places that aren't down around the corner when I get the chance. Just because you rarely get the chance to do that, right? I'm always signing it in the same spots, so it's rare when one is not signed. Okay, what do we got? I'm sorry, London. I know I'm now. What time is it? 1 minute. Got 1 minute. 1 minute. I can't get my brush dry. Oh no. Dry enough. Dry enough. All right. So maybe we'll have to skip the naming portion of this way, just because since it didn't get purchased, I get to pick its title anyway, right? Okay, so, Jack's Hideaway. That's a cool title. All right, we'll call it Jack's Hideaway. I know lots of people like that. Jack's Hideaway. Now, who said that? So I can give you credit. Who said cat? Naming it Jack's Hideaway. I love it. Who's back there? Maybe Sally's in there with him cooking up some brew. Some worm's wort. Yep, number 1514, guys. Calling it, what the hell are we calling it again? I forget. Jack's Hideaway. Okay. Let's get over to London's, painted on 10/11/2023. We're all going to go to PaintWithJosh. I don't even know why I said that. It's, they don't have time for the setup. Just, habit. Just habit. So head over to PaintWithJosh.com. You guys can grab this one. I'll go take a photo of it. It will be up there and available. Free shipping around the world. And I can't wait to see who gets it. So, London, hey, it's still 6 o'clock. I'm ready. I'm there on time. Okay, guys, so everybody go over and check out her show. It's going to be fantastic. And I really hope somebody jumps on this one quick. I really do. So until I see you guys then, get over there and watch her show. Take care. Have the rest of a good day. And blah, blah.